told you that it's not just your resume that's holding you back? Yeah, I said it. You've been applying like crazy, you've watched various YouTube videos, you've done your LinkedIn like 5 different times, but still you're unable to actually land that cybersecurity job offer, and it feels like a fantasy. Well, today on this video, I am going to be telling you 10 real reasons, yes, the whole 10, of why you might be stuck on struggling to try to break into cybersecurity. And it's the stuff that most people don't talk about. But I'm going to be giving you those 10 things, and more importantly, I'm going to be giving you a quick fix for each of those. So let's go. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Femi, and I post videos every week on cybersecurity, advice, and getting into the industry. And I have a request to make at this time. We're trying to hit our first 1,000 subscribers. So if you can, please smash that like button because it helps with the YouTube algorithm, and also subscribe and share with your friends if you think they will also find this content useful. Now let's jump into it. Here's the first reason why you might be having issues. It's because you're applying blindly. Or like a friend of mine says, you're applying the spray and pray approach. Because as long as the job has cybersecurity in it, you're throwing your resume at it. Cybersecurity open, you throw it at it. Irrespective of what area of cybersecurity it is. Like it's a confetti cannon. That's not what you should do. What I would recommend is this: to stop doing that, stop the spray and pray approach. One or two specific roles, say SOC analyst, for example, or a GRC analyst. I recently did a video talking about different roles in cybersecurity. I'll put a card up here so you can actually look at that. But pick specific roles and tailor your resume specifically for those roles. So don't think you're going to have a one-size-fits-all resume, because if you try to do everything, you would actually be able to do nothing. So pick one or two roles, make sure you learn as much as you can, and tailor your resume specifically for that. And then when you're going to apply, make sure that you're only applying for roles that match you. So make sure that you're applying for roles where your resume shows that you meet about 85 to 90% of the requirements. I've heard people say 60, 50%, but trust me, if you have a 60% chance or you meet 60% of the requirements of a job description and you apply, do you think there isn't anyone who meets 100% or 90%? So what are your chances with a 60% match compared to somebody who has a 90% match? I don't think you're going to beat that person out, right? So make sure that you're applying to roles where you are very tailored for. So don't try to apply to every role. Just pick one that you're good at. The second thing is you're waiting for the perfect opportunity. So you're saying, I'm going to do one more certification. I'm going to wait till I have my CISSP. I'm going to wait till I take my CISM. I'm going to take till I get my OSCP. Or that one more course, or go to that conference, or talk to that person, or build that portfolio before I do that. There is never a perfect time for anything. They say the perfect time or the best time to get anything done was yesterday. The next best time is now. So don't wait till you're perfect. Don't think you're going to wait till you have the right certification or the perfect certification. Don't think you're going to wait for the perfect opportunity, because it's never going to come. So what should you do? Apply while you're learning. And the truth is, every job you go into as a newbie is going to train you anyway. So you will learn faster on the job than trying to wait for the right opportunity to get the job. So don't wait till you're perfect to apply. Because again, while you're waiting for perfection, somebody else is there out there doing the work, and they're probably going to get the job while you're still waiting for perfect. So don't be that person. Number 3, if you're counting, is that your resume reads like a job description. So your resume matches exactly what they say on the job description. Monitored systems, responded to alerts, managed vulnerabilities. That's boring. No one wants to hear that, because again, recruiters and hiring managers see this every single day, all the time. So you need to make sure that you stand out. So instead, I always recommend with your resume, use a style that shows impact. So let your resume read with actionable data and the result of those actions. So for example, you could say something like, I reduced alert fatigue by tuning the SIEM rules, cutting noise by 40%. That shows something, that there was a problem. There was alert fatigue. And what did you do? You took action by tuning the SIEM rules. And what was the outcome of that? The result was a reduction in noise by 40%. That is actionable data that has a result that I can relate to, as opposed to just say, I monitored the system, I worked with Splunk. That doesn't tell a story. So make sure that you are telling a story. You're showing impact with your resume as you write your resume out. Number four, you're ignoring soft skills. So, especially for those of us who are the technical folks, like they say in the industry, so all the guys who are all the hackers or the ethical hackers or the pen testing, the guys who can do everything from the command line interface. And they think, you know what, I can do everything. I don't need communication skills. That's false. It's very, very important in the modern day workplace that you are very good at learning how to communicate. So collaboration is important, documentation is important, and people skills will get you the job. People skills are so important in your resume, in the interviews, and in your job on a daily basis. So if you are in a role and you think you don't need people skills or soft skills, you've got another thing coming. Because the truth is, cybersecurity is a team sport. And in any team sport, you need soft skills. You need people skills. So don't think you don't need soft skills. Don't think you don't need those people skills. Those are very important. So if you're lacking in those, start building on all of those. Because again, your experience with bug bounty hunting, or your experience with vulnerabilities, or your technical know-how alone is not going to land you a role. Number five is that you're not networking the right way. Because again, I can't count the number of times I get on my LinkedIn and I see a message from somebody saying to me, "Hi, can you refer me to this job?" Or, "Hi, I want you to mentor me." Out of the blue, I've never met you before. I don't know who you are. And you send me a message asking me to refer you. Why would I do that? Or asking me to mentor you? What's the rationale behind that? What's the motivation? Why would I choose to mentor you just because you say so out of the blue? So that's very bad. If you want to network the right way, because we all need to network, you've got to do the right thing. Lead with value, engage, ask for insights, build actual relationships. Because once you build those relationships, the referrals, the mentoring, all of those are like added benefits you get from that relationship. So, but the first thing you should do is actually build that relationship. Once that is there and you're providing value in that relationship, then it's easier to get those things. Remember that it's a two-way street. You need to give as much as you get. So what am I going to give in return for what I am hoping to get out of this relationship? That is so important. Networking is a two-way street. Number six is, I've heard people say things like, "I can't speak cyber yet." Again, that's the challenge. Somebody has taken a bunch of courses. You've done courses on Coursera or Udemy, or you've even taken a boot camp. And then I ask you, what's a SOC 1 report? And you're struggling to explain it to me. That's what the challenge is. So don't focus on getting only the theoretical aspect sorted out. So watch industry videos, go to industry events, watch how do the pros in this space talk about it, and then ask yourself, what can I take from that person's experience, from that person's conversation, from that person's speech? What can I take from that and learn and build on to improve myself? So practice explaining those concepts like you're talking to a friend, like you're talking to a kid. How can you say it in such a way that it's relatable and you can pass that message across to anyone? You should try and see, what can I do? How can I learn? The people who I want to be like, how do they speak? What are the things they say? And how can I be more and more like them? Always find that role model who's going to motivate you to be the best version of yourself. Number seven, everybody wants to get into cybersecurity, and you ask them what they want to do, and they say, "I want to be a pen tester," or "I want to be an ethical hacker." There's a lot of glamour in that, I would admit. Hollywood has made it interesting. You watch films like Ocean's 11 or War Games, and you actually get very excited by the role of being, a pen tester or an ethical hacker. But the truth is, that's just one aspect of cybersecurity. There's a lot of other areas of cybersecurity where the door is literally wide open. There's areas like GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. There's areas like IAM, identity and access management. There's areas like risk management. The truth is, these are non-hacking, non-traditional, if you will, cyber paths. If you're coming outside of cybersecurity, outside of technology, some of those roles might actually be a lot easier to break into. But there is a path to getting there. So if you want to get there, find the path of least resistance. If everybody wants to be a hacker, how easy is it going to be for you to get in there? Except you're really, really, really good at that. So why not find something that you're better at and easier for you to get in? GRC, IAM, support roles. Those are things you can actually get into and not have to be a hacker, and you can still make your way down to that six figures. So don't focus on ethical hacking and all of that. There's other entry level parts, there's other parts that get into cybersecurity that you can explore. Number 8, you have not built proof. And that I see this all the time. Someone tells me, oh, I've got 6 years of experience in cybersecurity. You don't have a GitHub. You don't write a blog about things you do. I don't see any lab. You don't have a home lab. You don't write about it on LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn is 2 lines long. There's nothing new about this information. How do I really want to know that you are what you say you are? Because to me, you read like a ghost. There's no proof that you've done anything worthwhile. There's no experience. But you have all these things on your resume, but I can't see that. So what you do to change that? Build something, anything, write a blog about it. You're working on a project at home, document the process. Oh, I spent some time writing some policies, identity and access management policies, or acceptable use policies. Blog about it. What was the key takeaways from that? What was the lessons you learned throughout that process? Document that. Are you somebody who does a lot of coding and scripting? Put it on your GitHub. Share that information publicly, because social proof is very, very powerful. And I was talking to someone the other day, and I was like, how did we get by in the days when we had no phones? Because today, every day, you say to someone, oh, I had a dinner with Obama the other day. And the question is, where's the proof? Show me a photo. So that's the thing. If you tell me you've got experience with cybersecurity, where's the proof? What have you done? What can you show me to prove that you've got that experience, that you've got that know-how, that you've got that knowledge? So write a blog, record a video, have a GitHub, build something, update your LinkedIn, show proof that you have actually done these things, because then I can actually say that, okay, if you be able to do this, I can give you a chance at yet another project. But if I don't see any proof, I'm sorry, somebody else who's got proof is going to take the job before you. So give yourself a chance to actually succeed at what you're trying to do. Number 9 is you are letting rejections define you. And I can relate to this a lot, because I know some people, the moment you get a letter of rejection from a recruiter that you've been rejected again, the next thing they spend 3 days in bed rethinking your life choices and wondering, why on earth did I decide to go on this journey? Or you have an identity crisis nonstop. The truth is, rejections are not personal. Don't let it get to you. It's a redirection. It's just somebody saying, this door doesn't work. Go find another door to try to open it. So every time you get a rejection, see it as a redirection. Use that redirection to ask yourself, what did I do that I can improve upon? What was bad in this situation that I can make better next time? And then use that information to bounce back better and stronger. And you will find that it's going to get easier with each time. The rejections are just one way of saying, hey, it's not now, or you need to do something better. It's a redirection. Always remember that. A rejection doesn't mean no. It simply means you've got to do better, or maybe not now. And don't let rejections redefine you. And finally, number 10, you've just forgotten why you've started. Now, I know the job application process is brutal. You can apply to over hundreds of applications, and sometimes you only get 3 responses back, or sometimes it's all crickets. You're burnt out, you're discouraged, and you're wondering, have I actually made a mistake in trying to do this? The truth is, you probably have not. So don't be burnt out. Don't be discouraged. Don't think you've made a huge mistake. Instead, pause for a minute, reflect, take a step back, reconnect with your why. Why are you doing this? What's the reason why you're going through all this work? What is the goal that you're hoping to achieve? Was it job security? Or is it passion? Or is it helping people? Always tap back into that why. Because if you don't have a why, it's hard to find a how to make your why come true. So always find a why. Let that why be your anchor. Let it help you remain grounded when things are going to be challenging, difficult, swaying like you're in the storm. Let the why be your anchor. That strong root that goes deep down to keep you grounded. Because the truth is this: breaking into cybersecurity is hard. but you're not alone and you're not broken. We've all been there, myself inclusive. We've been stuck, feeling frustrated, feeling invisible. But now, if you've watched all the way to this point, you know the things that's probably in your way. And better still, you know what you need to do now to move forward. So now it's your turn. Which of these hit home the most? I want to know what you think. Put a comment down below and tell me your story. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it today. Because remember that you've got this and I'm rooting for you. If you're wondering what next to watch, you can check out this video here where I talk about Canada's cybersecurity industry, or you can check out this video here where I have a conversation with someone about how you can improve your presence on LinkedIn to give yourself a better chance at being successful finding a career. And until the next video, this is Femi signing out.